Sunday marks 84 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor. It's a moment that pulled an entire generation into war. The greatest generation is quickly fading, and even fewer can still share firsthand memories of that fateful day. Well, I traveled to Habersham County to sit down with a man who didn't just witness history, he lived it twice.
At 103 years old, Ken Schubring has lived more life than most of us can imagine. But ask him about being 17, just a high school kid, stepping out of the classroom and straight into the U.S. Air Force. And the memories returned with clarity like it happened yesterday.
Everything seemed to lean toward that being in the cards sooner rather than later. So not much of a decision to be made.
He didn't know it then, but that decision would place him at the center of some of the most defining moments in American history. Assigned to Hawaii, Schubring expected routine, but what came next would change the trajectory of the world.
On December 6th, I started the tour of guard duty. It was 4 hours on and 4 hours off, and it was to end on December 7th in the morning, and headed across and washed up and had breakfast. And it was when I was having breakfast that the attack began.
In an instant, the quiet island morning turned to chaos.
And as I went outside, the sky was full of airplanes, dive bombers, of Japanese.
The 17-year-old hit the ground.
I hit the deck and fall flat on my face and stay there and climb to some place that looked safe, which was a ditch nearby, and that's where I went, crawled on my belly, and stayed on that until the first wave had finished.
The Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor, and in a matter of moments, the U.S. was thrust into World War II.
A date which will live in infamy.
Schubring lost friends that day, friends he had trained with. He still carries their names and still sees their faces.
We will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God.
But the war was far from over. Schubring went on to become a flight engineer on B-29 bombers.
From Saipan, which is 1,400 miles south of Japan, would fly from the airfield on Saipan, where our planes were housed, right straight north, over Iwo Jima, or around Iwo Jima, to our targets in Japan. The bombings were individual bombings.
Even then, the biggest shift in warfare was still hidden from them.
It was the best kept secret of the war. I can truthfully, without any equivocation, say that we knew nothing about it until it happened.
The atomic bomb would bring a devastating new reality to the world and begin the end of the war. Ken Schubring remembers.
About 2 hours into our trip back home from Osaka, and there was a news article that came over the Armed Forces radio network that Emperor Hirohito had asked for an armistice, which of course meant World War II was over.
He came home, finished college, built a family and a career, but the memories and the sacrifices and the weight of what he saw never left him.
I think I've outlived everybody else.
Even now, at 103, Ken Schubring keeps up with what's happening in the world around him.
Catch me on Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, and I'll probably have a little bit different view depending on what the news was.
And in a time when division seems to echo louder than unity, his perspective offers hope. In spite of the conflict, in spite of the division.
In spite of anything that might be in the way, why, I still think it's the greatest country on earth.
For Atlanta News First.
But anyway, all you have to do is to be outside of the United States to appreciate that.
I'm Gurveer Dinsa.